My name is Liam and I occasionally observe movies from a distance, and today I observed a movie from a franchise that I have never seen before. This is Feedback Really Hurts, Fast and Furious 9.
Hey guys.
With me today is a man who can only be described as Oliver Catton. It's Oliver Catton! Put on our leather jackets.
Yes, as car people do.
Yeah, and we've gone to see Fast and Furious 9. Now, can you confirm that we have never met before? And that we have also never seen a Fast and Furious movie before this?
I've never watched a movie with you before. Never seen a Fast and Furious movie. I think I may have seen one scene from the one with Dwayne Johnson in it, but that's it. I'm not even sure.
There's a few with Dwayne Johnson.
No, that was Get Smart.
Oh. Was Dwayne Johnson in Get Smart?
I think he was in like the reboot or something. It was some stupid shitty spy movie, unlike Fast and Furious.
Which was shockingly was a spy movie, because I didn't really know that had anything to do with it. I knew that only the first three were about drag racing, and from that point onwards it got really out of hand, but that was like all I knew.
You guys are so good at drag racing.
We're gonna make
you like
super spies.
International super spies.
Yeah.
Well, off the bat, it wasn't good.
No, I don't think either of us liked it very much.
No, it's definitely not for us.
The question is, did we not like it because we had no idea what the fuck was happening because this is the 9th installment of a franchise we've never watched? Or was the movie just also not very good on its own merits?
Well, I was trying to keep that in mind while watching it. There was only really one aspect of the whole film that didn't fit because I hadn't seen the movies before. Spoilers. There was a character that came back from another movie where everyone was like, "Whoa, how'd you come back? You're so cool," or whatever.
Yeah, how are you not dead?
It wasn't Paul Walker, because he is dead.
No, but his character isn't.
No, his character isn't dead.
Which I think they kept referring to Brian as a character off screen. I think that's Paul Walker's character.
That was him at the end as well.
Yeah, his blue car showed up at the end.
His famous blue car.
No one can ever retire because it's the Vin Diesel thing of like, oh, things have changed. Nah, never mind, and he just ends up going back to it. But Paul Walker's character did retire, and he will never come back to the life ever. We only know this for metatextual reasons.
The really big fucking hitch in the road for me was how ridiculous everything was. And I know that these movies have been like ridiculous action before. Like comically ridiculous. Stuff like driving a car out of a plane landing on a building or something. But this one was so ridiculous. For example, at the start of the movie, one of the characters is basically in a hole with 10 men with guns surrounding them. The men with guns begin to fire, and then the character in the hole grabs another gun and kills all of them after they started firing. He has like bullet marks on his shirt, but he is unharmed. And I thought, that's stupid. And then they started driving through a minefield where they were like, oh, if we drive at 80 miles an hour, we can outrun the explosion of the mine.
And he says, my car can only go up to 70. And they said, well, just floor it and hope for the best.
But then all the other bad guys driving around them who were doing 80 because they were keeping up with them, their cars still blew up.
I mean, that was because they were behind them, though.
No, there was one that like hit a mine and the mine blew up the front of the car.
Oh.
It doesn't matter anyway. You
can't
outdrive.
They were behind the other cars.
Yeah, maybe a few of them. There was definitely at least one. Doesn't matter because you can't outdrive a mine. You can't outdrive a mine. The movie then has the character who was being shot at start going on this like tirade about how what the fuck is that? How the fuck did I survive? How have we kept surviving all this ridiculous shit? We might be invincible, like genuinely invincible, because we've done things that no other person could ever do. And the other character's like, nah, you fucking idiot. That's it.
I thought, is this really the 9th installment? Or are they setting up backstory from movies that don't exist?
Yeah.
Because he said, how long have we been doing this? How long have we been drag racing and trying to survive? It's like the first episode of a TV show is when they do that shit.
Well, no, what was the line Vince Diesel's character was like, I'm not getting back into the life. And they're like, but Cypher is out. The woman that killed the mother of your child. And I was like, well, thanks for catching me up.
Yeah.
But if I was a fan, I'd feel insulted, because I know that already.
If it was really, they were going ham on the idea that they really need to convince him, they still wouldn't say that. They'd say the woman who killed, Mary or whatever her name.
Yeah, they just said it's like a fantasy film with the amount of shit they get away with.
I'd heard already about this,
Yeah.
so I knew it was going to happen. But they do go to space. It is just the most like, we are just escalating this as far as we can take it. I assume in the 10th one they're going to dimension hop. I don't know.
Oh my god, then they could have a CGI Paul Walker. No, they could cast someone else as Paul Walker and bring that Paul Walker into the original universe so you can still have Paul Walker. Sorry, what's his character's name?
Brian, I think.
Brian, I think.
Let's drill down into what the main plot of this movie is.
That's a good question.
Okay.
I was falling asleep.
No, but I think I gathered what the main plot was.
Yeah.
So Dom's, Vin Diesel's character, his brother shows up, who is John Cena. To the best of my knowledge, this character is a new addition to this movie. He wasn't in any of the previous ones.
No.
To my knowledge.
To my knowledge.
I
would have heard about it.
Because they treated his appearance like a big reveal and went into great detail about all of his backstory and a few flashbacks, which I think the flashbacks may have actually been the most interesting parts of the movie. When you see Dom go to prison and like learn about the thing that killed his dad and realize that his brother was probably responsible.
Yeah.
That
was decent family drama.
That was narratively interesting.
Yes.
Because it had a twist that I didn't actually see coming, weirdly. The reason I'm surprised that he's a new addition is because 9 movies in is late to be introducing the idea that the main character has a brother who works for like an evil spy agency
and
who maybe killed their dad.
I'm very certain that the dad's death in the NASCAR race, I'm pretty sure that's like a big part of Dom's character. He's like, oh, my dad died driving a car. And like he's probably really...
Yeah, it would be weird if he never brought that up in a previous movie, but I have to assume he did.
But he also, if he did, he then never brought up that his brother was responsible.
Yeah, because he found that out in the flashback. He didn't find that out in real time in the movie. John Cena looks nothing like Vin Diesel. And brothers can look different to each other. But there's one point where a character goes, hey, oh, you know, that guy that was here before... This was when they're in London, by the way. That's why I'm doing this accent. That guy that was here before, he looked a bit like you. Similar face. Oh, don't tell me he's your cousin or something. And he goes, he's my brother.
However, they do say something like the Toretto family is...
The Toretto family loves their family.
Well, there's someone said like the Toretto family, you know, is like very interracial or something.
Yeah.
It might have been like a stepbrother. They never say stepbrother.
They say, well, they could be half brothers, I guess. That could be possible. I don't know. There's 3 people that show up that are out in the midpoint of the movie that help invent the rocket that thrusts them into space. And they're establishing what they do. Yeah. So I don't know if they've been in previous movies or not.
I think 2 of them have, and the 3rd guy hasn't been.
Probably the white guy hadn't been in.
No, I think the Asian guy hasn't been because they say Dominic sent me, and he goes, who? The Asian guy who was like, everyone was surprised he was still alive. His character died in a previous movie in a car explosion. The car was on fire and then it exploded. You were out getting another drink.
Yes.
When they explained how he got out. You know how they explain it?
How?
He got out. So for like the second third of the movie, I just got like extremely fatigued. I don't even know if it was the movie's fault. I was falling asleep. And I've mixed up some scenes in the movie with scenes from House, the TV show that I've been watching on YouTube. I was pretty sure someone had to get some sort of surgery done.
Someone had to get surgery.
Was surgery mentioned at all? Like, did anyone have cancer in the film?
Don't think so.
Then that was completely made up because I was there and like I'd be like I'm awake, and then eyes closed, asleep for a bit, like a few seconds, and then I'd wake up again and the scene would still be going. I'm pretty sure I caught everything, but I don't think Hugh Laurie was actually in the film. If I get anything wrong about the plot, that's why. And then the fucking magnets. The magnets could have...
I honestly think the magnets were kind of interesting.
The magnets were interesting. Magnets were interesting, but horribly inconsistent. Yeah. And you shouldn't try to apply science to this, but when it becomes so... Oh, that's not how that would work, though. Like, I'm not a very smart man.
But when it's literally like
what the fuck?
Bringing a whole car through a building. How is it not caving in the door of the car that you're already in?
Also, why isn't the other car being pulled with the same force?
It's one of those things where they just kind of go, this is a magnet, and it'll do what you as a layman understand a magnet to do.
The one action scene that was really good in the whole movie was when they had the truck with the magnet, and they had the person who doesn't know how to drive driving the truck, and they have a fight occurring inside the truck, and then they have a fight occurring on top of the truck.
Definitely the magnet was used in a creative way in that sequence.
Pulls the fucking car.
Just the car goes through an entire building. I also just think about, it's a meme, but like I just think about the collateral damage sometimes. Just when, okay, that's 3 people dead at least.
Yeah.
You've also just like, that building's probably collapsed now.
Vin Diesel. I think, to me, when I see him on screen, he's a joke. Not because of the family thing, but because the Facebook page that he has, the Facebook page where he photoshops his face onto tigers, that and like the most recent Ark Survival Evolved game coming out, which just has a horrible CGI Vin Diesel in it. Something about his face, I look at it and it's just funny. It's just a funny face. When he's doing the little pouty thing, he pouted a lot.
It's sort of like Clint Eastwood, except shit.
It makes me not. I don't like Dom. I think I think he's a dumbass. I think he's an idiot. He sounds stupid. He yes-ands like reality. That's not gonna happen.
Well, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna launch into space? We're gonna strap rockets to our backs?
It's exactly what we'll do. I think a lot of this movie is the kind of cool that a 10-year-old would think up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's almost the premise of the series. I think it's probably one of those series that sort of started out with like a bit more substance to it.
Probably.
I haven't seen The Fast and the Furious, or Fast and Furious, or Too Fast, Too Furious, which are all different movies.
Is Fast and Furious number 3?
No, Fast and Furious is number 4.
What's number 3?
Tokyo Drift.
I thought that was number 5.
No, 5 is Fast 5.
Fast 5, and what's 6? Too Fast, Too Furious.
No. Too Fast, Too Furious is the second movie of the.
Oh god.
So it's The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious,
Fast 5.
Fast 5. I think it's Furious 6 or just Fast and Furious 6.
I thought it was Furious 7.
Yeah, okay, so it's just Fast and Furious 6.
Okay.
Furious 7, The Fate of the Furious,
and
then Fast and Furious 9.
Oh, Jesus. There's a problem with reviewing like Fast and Furious 9. You're just gonna want. There's no one who's gonna have their opinion change on the Fast and Furious series. You know, people will like it if they like Fast and Furious, if they like Vin Diesel.
Yeah. What would you say was the highlight of the movie? What if like say the whole movie was like this, you would like the movie?
Oh god.
Is it that action scene with the?
Probably you need to have more action scenes with an interesting gimmick to them.
If it just went full Mad Max Fury Road and the whole thing was just like that the whole way through.
But like the magnet was cool for that scene, but then they just kept using the magnet, and the magnet became like a main like device they used. You gotta, for a movie that's what, 2 hours, 20 minutes long? So if you're gonna make a movie that long, you have to change up the gimmick more often than we've changed what cars are in the scene.
This isn't a movie about, drag racing or heists or anything. This is a movie about, saving the entire world.
From like one dictator.
Yeah.
Who was just about to blow
Which is kind of hard to orient your movie around a ragtag team that call themselves a family.
Especially when the main character is so obsessed with fucking, like, just this one guy.
Yeah.
I don't think Dom I didn't believe he ever really cared about the MacGuffin. He only ever cared about finding his brother and killing him. At the highest point of my tiredness, I realized, because there was like this long stretch of no action where it was just, here's 2 of the characters talking, next scene is 2 of the characters talking elsewhere. I realized that I could close my eyes and like I don't have to watch because they're just talking, and I basically just get like the audio version of it and rest my eyes for a bit and then wake up when the action begins again.
Right.
And that's when Dr. House stepped in.
I think you dislike this movie a lot more than I do.
I think so too.
When you say it was shockingly awful, it was the exact amount of awful I was expecting. Which is to say, like, competently made and containing rather dodgy acting, but nothing that made me want to pull my eyes out.
I didn't expect it to be to fly, so far in the face of reality. Like there's every movie can get away with a certain amount of reality breaking to make itself work, but like from second 1 to second, final, it was just like this. I can't pretend like this is
This is real.
Real. I can't pretend like any of this is truthful.
Like very early on, Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez just fucking, their car just like comes hurtling into a cliff
And they're
at
fine.
like 1,000 miles an hour, and the car's windshield breaks, and that's about it. I'm like, you are dead. Your car just exploded and you are dead. I was able to sort of sit back in a couple moments and just kind of laugh at something stupid. I'm easily amused when I turn my brain off.
Yeah, I guess.
And this isn't a movie that encouraged me to turn it on. So.
I guess I was fighting to keep my brain on because I was going to fall asleep otherwise.
Yeah.
So that might have been
I did get a little woozy at times as well. So, Oliver, are you encouraged to watch more Fast and Furious movies?
I'd like to watch the first 3 just to see how far they fell.
Okay, I'm actually about the same.
Yeah.
If you like Fast and Furious, you will like Fast and Furious 9. I have no doubt about that. If you don't like Fast and Furious, you will not like Fast and Furious 9. If you're like us and you've never seen a Fast and Furious movie before, don't start with this one. This was a bad idea.
The popcorn wasn't even really that salty.
Okay, you can't say that. Just I'm gonna need you to say that again. But you know how to say it. What did you think of the popcorn at the cinema, Oliver?
It was very salty, and good way.
So Fast and Furious 9, what would you give it out of 10?
9. Probably like a fucking 3.
Yeah, I'd say a 4. I liked the bit with drag racing in the flashback,
Yes.
so I'm interested to watch the first one.
It made me want to drive a fast car.